You ever hear of a place called K&A? Kensington and Allegheny. For some folks in 1970s Philly, it was just a stop on the train. But for others, it was their whole world. A place that could build you up or just as easily tear you down. Today, we're going to dive into two stories from this one neighborhood and see how it completely shaped the lives of two very different men.
So this is the gut punch that welcomes our first guy home. It's that feeling of loss that's so deep, it turns a memory into a ghost. He's clinging to this perfect picture of a person who, as he's about to find out, might not have been real in the first place.
So what we've got here are these two parallel stories. One guy is hunting for a killer. The other is just trying to save the woman he loves from herself. But in the end, both of them are wrestling with love, loss, and the long shadow that K&A casts over everything. All right, so let's start with Jack. He's a soldier, fresh back from Vietnam, and he's thinking he's just going to slot right back into his old life, pick up right where he left off. But yeah, K&A has other ideas. His homecoming isn't a party. It's the start of a total nightmare.
I mean, can you imagine that? You survive a war, you get home, and the one person you were fighting to get back to is gone, murdered. The police, they kind of shrug it off, you know? Just another crime in a city full of them. So Jack, being a trained soldier, decides if he wants answers, he's going to have to find them himself.
And this is where things get really jarring for Jack. The woman he had in his head, this sweet girl he knew from the automat, she's not who he finds. The real story is about a stranger, a topless dancer mixed up with loan sharks. It's like one of the detectives tells him, "Wake up, Jack, it's 1970. The truth he's looking for is already a whole lot darker than he ever could have guessed.
You know, with every single step he takes, he's just getting sucked deeper and deeper into the world that swallowed Joe whole. He's not just a heartbroken boyfriend anymore. Now he's throwing punches in back alleys, getting in the face of a loan shark named Mike Burke. And he's learning these awful truths, not just about Joe's life, but about what she really thought of him. It's like every good memory he had is being torched, one by one.
And then, wow, this is the real gut punch. All those letters that kept him sane in Vietnam, the ones he thought were from Joe pouring her heart out, total lie. They were written by her roommate, Aura. So it wasn't just that Joe had a secret life. His entire emotional connection to her while he was away was a complete fabrication.
And this is where it all comes crashing down. The big reveal. It wasn't the loan shark. It wasn't some random creep. It was Aura. Lonely, jealous Aura, who always thought she was the prettiest girl around but could never get Jack's attention. She killed Joe just to get her out of the picture, all because of a twisted, tragic obsession.
Okay, let's switch gears. We're moving on to our second story. We go from a soldier digging into the past to a programmer, Matt Michaels, whose future gets completely derailed by one random meeting. If Jack's story was like a gritty detective mystery, then Matt's is a total psychological nosedive.
Just look at how fast this all goes south. It starts off so simple. Two people meet on a train, and then it just accelerates into chaos. Their relationship isn't built on shared dreams. It's built on shared highs, on booze and drugs. And every month, it just gets more and more unstable until it all ends in a tragedy that just blows everything apart.
So, you've got Matt, right? He's this kind of shy, by-the-book programmer. He is so not ready for someone like Katie Sherman. She just pulls him into her world of non-stop partying. And at first, it's exciting, it's intense, but it's also incredibly toxic. And it doesn't just damage them, it ends up being a disaster for everyone around them, especially Matt's best friend, Bob.
So you have to ask, what is going on with Katie? What's driving all this? Well, her roommate Emily nails it. She's running from a ghost. Turns out she was behind the wheel in the car crash that killed her mom, and she's never dealt with it. That trauma is fueling everything. She's not just partying, she's trying to erase herself.
And here's the big difference from Jack's story. For Matt, there's no neat ending. No answers. His best friend Bob gets shot and killed trying to get Katie away from our dealer. And right after, Katie, well, she's just gone, vanished. Matt isn't left with a painful truth. He's left with a giant, gaping hole. An unsolved murder and a lover who disappeared into thin air.
Okay, so we've got one murder solved and one giant, open-ended mystery. Let's really stack these two stories up against each other and see how the themes of love, trauma, and betrayal weave through both of them.
This line right here, it's a huge clue.
It comes from a flashback Katie has on LSD, and it shows you just how toxic things were with her mother before the accident ever happened. That one nasty comment reveals this deep-seated trauma she's been carrying. So you see, both Joe and Katie are haunted by their pasts, and it pushes them down these incredibly destructive paths.
When you put them side by side like this, it's pretty clear. You've got two guys from the same city, both get tangled up with a really complicated woman. Jack has to face a dark secret, while Matt has to deal with deep trauma. But just look at the outcomes. Jack gets an answer, even if it's a horrible one. Matt, he gets nothing. Just silent.
And the thing that ties this all together, it's the neighborhood. K&A. It's not just a setting, it's like a character in the story. A force. It's the world of sleazy bars and loan sharks that traps Joe. It's the gritty, dead-end life that both Jack and Matt's friend Bob come from. For pretty much everyone in these stories, K&A is something you have to survive, a past you're desperate to escape.
All right, so after everything they've been through, where does this leave our two guys? Both of them got dragged through the dirt, both of them lost the woman they thought they knew. But the paths they end up on couldn't be more different.
I mean, you really couldn't have two more different endings. Jack, the soldier, gets his truth. It's ugly, but it's closure, and it gives him a shot at a new life with Carol Ann, a chance to finally leave K&A for good. Matt, the programmer, is stuck. He's trapped in this limbo with no answers, no closure, and no way out. He's just left haunted by the chaos Katie brought into his life.
And that really just leaves us with one big question, doesn't it? Jack gets out, but he's carrying all those scars with him. Matt is left completely trapped by what happened. It really makes you wonder, in a place that gets its hooks in you that deep, can you ever truly get away? Or does a piece of it just follow you forever?